Good morning. It's Vijay here. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. Today is 19 June 2025, what in the US they call Juneteenth, which is a holiday there, a trading holiday as far as the stock markets and other markets are concerned. So yesterday was a very important event. Generally, we talk about it, but we did not talk about it. This was the Federal Reserve meeting where we didn't talk about it because there was nothing to talk about because you see the Fed has decided that they will not reduce interest rates independent of the data. They talk always of the data, and when it actually comes, the data has been very mild and let's say bullish for reduction of interest rates, but now they are saying no, it is because of something else. So making sense of the Federal Reserve is really absolutely, becoming very difficult because it's becoming more and more nonsensical. They have just decided what they want to do, and they will not care for data. So the outcome was that Fed says we will hold key rate steady, still see two more cuts this year. They don't know what they're talking about because you see, first they say, okay, we look at data. When the data comes good, they say, no, we'll look at inflation because of tariffs. I think they're totally unclear, and we have to suffer the consequences. So he says path is unclear because tariff impact is still incoming. I believe that tariffs will not be inflationary. In fact, if anything, they'll be deflationary. So I think Fed is behind the curve as usual, and because nobody is there to question them, so they go about what they want to do. So yesterday markets initially they went up, giving the impression that the worst is over, but then the bulls lost their gas, and then the bears came into play. However, one could not say that the bears really hammered the market, though Nifty struggled. Bank Nifty did well, but the broader market, that is where the problem is, because many of the ultra high net worth individuals, the HNIs, the AIFs, the PMS guys are scared of what is going to happen next. And as I mentioned yesterday, we should buy when there is blood on the streets, even if it is our own. Yesterday also we bought. We will continue to buy for investments. That is, investments will continue to buy today and in the foreseeable future, because I believe, having a bird's eye view, that things are only going to get better and not get worse. Of course, if they get worse and if it goes nuclear, then none of us will be there to survive, and you'll not see a podcast coming in the morning at 8 o'clock. But I go with optimism always, and I am able to see that this is optimism based on pragmatism. I am able to see something good happening in the near future. So that's mid caps, as I said, underperformed. The market breadth was 2:1 in favor of declines, which is quite bad actually. Though the numbers of the institutions show that both FIs and DIs were buyers. That is primarily because of the bulk deals which are coming in left, right, center. That's the only problem I have, that the bulk deals are coming, and whether the demand is enough, I don't know. But as of now, the bulk deals continue to keep coming, and the institutions continue to keep buying. So about 2,000 crores worth of shares were bought by institutions. So what are the stocks to watch today? Vodafone Idea, they have tied up with AST Space Mobile for satellite connectivity. That should perk up, but Vodafone has been always under pressure. Geo Financial Services and SBI, so some deal there. So that may be positive for Geo Financial. Trent is the con call. They're talking of some big moves in the next 10 years. So that may get attention. But I do not believe what the numbers are, because nobody can predict 10 years ahead. Neutral is Siemens Energy. Siemens Energy will list today, so we have to see how it will perform. Energy is generally the flavor of the season, so it may do well, is what I feel. Zydus Life Sciences is likely to be negative because the US FDA has made some observations. So these are the few stocks. So what are the cues this morning based on what happened in the US? Dow Jones went up, Nasdaq, S&P, all of them went up at one point of time. But Dow Jones came down after the Fed announced their pause. That happened with S&P and Nasdaq also. Nasdaq closed in the positive, S&P closed flat. Then China has called for an immediate ceasefire by Israel. So that is something very interesting. Russia also has threatened yesterday that they should not get into, America should not get into a war in the Middle East. So both China and Russia are supporting Iran. I think that's a big pressure point. I don't think Trump will, go ahead. What we call Trump's now new name is Taco. Taco means Trump always chickens out, which means he's now talking big, but I don't think he will go ahead with whatever he's thinking. So US dollar was steady at 98.6. Gold fell below 3400, and crude oil was steady at 76. So crude oil is saying there are tensions, but nothing so major that it has to go to 80, 90, 100. People are already talking 150, 200. I personally don't think at this point of time one can make such kind of projections. Of course, anything can happen, as they say, but based on current available data, I don't think you can even look at even 85. So Europe also opened better, but then it closed in the negative. DAX closed about 0.5% and CAC closed about 0.4%. So there is some good news here. Europe and Iran to hold nuclear talks on Friday. So that will, I think, cool the tensions. So this weekend should be good. We should be positive. And then you also have Trump is facing a MAGA black backlash over the Iran stance. MAGA is make America great again. The supporters, they have supported Trump, saying that there will be no more wars. And I don't think Trump will go ahead, because I think the opposition is huge. External opposition from China and Russia and Europe too, and internal opposition. He cares for internal opposition because Republicans go into midterm, and he should not. I mean, he wouldn't want to be considered a loser. So today is June 19th, and June 19th is a holiday in US. Generally, when US is on holiday, the bulls are very strong here. But I don't know whether that will happen today, because today is also the settlement day, and there is this overhang of the war in Iran and between Iran and Israel. So I would definitely go cautious, but cautiously bullish. I have no reason to feel bearish, so I'm just going as buying on declines. But maybe our positions will be much smaller. But investment, wherever we get some interesting avenues, we will invest. So thank you for joining me today. Have a good day.